it's Miss Amelia at the Polk County Public Libraries, and today I'm going to show you how to make this week's Take and Make kit, which is a Sleepy Sloth buddy clip. And his feet clip onto all kinds of things, so you can hang him anywhere in your house or outside on a tree branch if you want. But before we get started, I wanted to tell you guys about an in-person program that's happening tomorrow. You can come to the library at 3 o'clock and be a junior scientist and help with some research and learn about bugs in a program with EcoExplorer called Intro to Entomology. So you can learn all kinds of things about insects, and then they will tell you how to be a part of EcoExplorer, which helps real scientists in North Carolina keep track of bugs and all kinds of critters around our state. All right, so you can stop by the Columbus or Saluda Library this week and pick up a Take and Make kit that has all of the supplies to make your Sleepy Sloth buddy clip. And we are going to get started. You will need a pair of scissors and a cup of water at home, and probably a paper towel to wipe off your paintbrush in between using paint colors. And inside your kit, you have 3 different colors of paint: black, white, and pink. And you will need that for your sloth's face, his little fur on the back, and his eyes and nose and mouth. You also have a piece of paper that has your sloth's body traced out already for you, and that's what we're going to cut out in just a minute. You have 2 clothespins that are going to be your sloth's feet, and a paintbrush, and some information about some upcoming programs. So the cool EcoExplorer program that I was telling you about is on this piece of paper, so you can find all of that information there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sloth's body and I'm going to cut it out of my paper, and I'm going to be very careful using scissors. If you have kid-sized scissors at home, I recommend using those. And if not, I would ask a parent or an older sibling to help you with this part of the craft. And they can cut out the body, and then you can paint the face and the fur. We're going to cut around all the outside of him. And sloths are very cool animals because they like to hang around in trees and on tree limbs, and that's how they sleep, is they sleep hanging just like this from a tree. So they wrap their paws around the tree and just kind of hang there. So it's like they were sleeping in a hammock, but it's just their body. So they're not really sleeping in a hammock like you and I would, but if you've ever laid in a hammock before, that's very similar to how a sloth sleeps. So here's my sloth's body. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to kind of draw a heart-shaped face for him. Or it could be a girl. It could be a girl sloth. And it doesn't have to be a perfect heart. It's going to have like a curved edge and make like a U shape at the bottom. So I think it almost looks like an apple. An apple without the stem or the leaf. And you can kind of see it there. And I'm going to get out my paint next. And this paint, you want to be really sure not to get it on you. So make sure you're wearing old clothes or have an apron on for this activity. Because this paint, if you get it on your clothes, it won't come out. It'll come off of your hands and your paintbrush, but not your clothes. All right. I'm going to paint. Let's see here. I can move over so you can see me. I'm going to paint the sloth's face. And we'll have to let this dry before we add on the eyes and nose. So I'll show you that part at the very end of this video. I'll show you how I added that on. But you're going to have to let it dry in between layers, and you're going to want to also make sure that after you use the white paint, you wash out your brush in a cup of water while your project's drying, so that when you use pink or black, it doesn't accidentally mix the colors together. Okay, so there's my sloth's face. I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to add some fur on his back. And you can see the fur that I've added on. It's just little dashes all the way across his little back. And that looks like his fur. And you can put long ones and short ones, because sometimes they have long fur and short fur. I'm gonna put one more on here. We're gonna let that dry before adding on our face, our eyeballs, and our nose and our smile. All right, friends, I'm back and my sloth is almost dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the dark half circles for his eyes and his nose and his mouth. And my paintbrush is already clean. You can tell that my water has cleaned off my paintbrush. So the next part is to add those 2 half circles. So the half circles come from the side of his face and they make like a U shape. And they don't touch in the middle. There's a little spot in the middle because his nose goes in the very middle. But they're kind of like a U shape, or like a half of a circle. I'm gonna put it on the other side. And I'm using my black paint right now, so as soon as I finish his eyes, I'm gonna add some little black lines on my clothespins for his toes. Okay, so you can see the little lines on there for his toes. I'm gonna use my paintbrush and carefully add 2 really skinny lines, or maybe even 1 line. Let's just see how this goes. There's one toe. And the other toe. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. If you're unsure about using the paint for this part, you can use a marker. Does the same thing. So those toes are a little bit thicker, and that's okay. I'm going to go back and touch these up. That way they're even. But if you want to use a marker or a pen, you can do that too. And my next step is going to be to add some more white for his eyes and a dot of black paint in the middle for his little eyeballs. His nose is pink and so is his mouth. And as soon as that is dry, I can add my clothespin feet. Now the clothespin feet you're going to glue on with regular glue, or if you have a hot glue gun at home and a parent in the house, they can help you put hot glue on your sloth so that the front part of your clothespin will stick to the sloth's body and the back part will make the clothespin work so you can hang him on all kinds of stuff. So that glue is going to go, if you're holding your clothespin and the toes are on the front, you're going to put just a dot of glue on the same side of your clothespin that your toes are. And then you're going to let it dry on your sloth just like this. You may have to let him dry upside down. That way the glue touches his body.